Residential Peace Plaza. It's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Hi, I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show, America. Thank you for joining us. It's a free call at 888-825-5225, or you can go online at daveramsey.com. Click on Dave's email. Please keep your emails brief and to the point, and we'll do our best to answer them as part of the show today. Minneapolis starts off this hour. Ann is calling from Minnesota. How are you, Ann?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, thank you for taking my call. I just have a question. We've got about $107,000 of debt, and I'm just wondering if you would suggest selling our home to pay off our debt. I can kind of give you some background information. We've been self-employed for 17 years. We have a wood flooring and custom tile business. Our income is around $45,000 to $50,000 a year. Our business has been very affected by the economy, the housing market and stuff, so our income has been cut down quite a bit, probably half, if not more.
So the 45 or 50 is what it is after it was cut in half or before it was cut in half?
This is after it's cut in half.
So you used to make 90 or 100?
Exactly.
And what is the 107 in debt? What kind of debt?
Well, we have $55,000 on a small business loan, which was taken out for an investment that my husband did with another business he thought was going to take off, and we ended up losing that money. We have $32,000 in credit card debt from our flooring and tile business, and we have $17,500 with another credit card that was related to this other business that went bad, and then about $2,000 on his truck loan, and none of that is including the house, obviously. So,
what do you owe on your home?
Well, including the equity line, we owe $276,200, and I'm thinking the value of the house would be around $450,000 to $500,000. So we'd have maybe $150,000 of equity in the house if we sold it.
Mm-hmm. So you'd be clear.
We would.
How long have you lived in the house?
We've lived in the house for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the house payment is, not a high house payment, including tax and insurance. It's $1,890, which is obviously quite a bit of our income right now. So I'm just debating should I, get a job, and my husband is trying to do some other things, but right now we're struggling. Do we just hang on and stay in the home instead of uprooting everything? And
well, my guess is that you can't pay all of these bills.
Well, we have been able to. That's the thing. We are current on everything. We're not behind on anything. We've been able to make minimum payments on everything. So I'm thinking if I get a job to help a little bit, maybe that will help us continue to do that until things start to pick up again. I'm not really sure what direction to go. I don't know if selling the house is a wise thing to do, because if we had to get another, if we wanted to buy another house, I don't know that we could get a mortgage, because being self-employed, that's not so easy to do.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get one for a little while. You might rent for a year or two while you wait on things to turn around. How old are your children?
My daughter is 24. She's not living in the house, but my son is graduating from high school this year, so I'm not really wanting to sell the house until after he's, in June when he graduates, and we can look at selling the house at that point. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think if you like the house, you keep the house if you can see one of two things happening: you getting a job and your income coming up, and or your husband's business turning around. Because if we can get him back up around 100, all of a sudden, you guys are used to living on 50, you can get rid of this $107,000 worth of debt in 2 or 3 years.
Right,
but,
exactly.
But right now what you are is just treading water, and if that's the 5-year plan, sell the house. If that's the 5-month plan, then maybe not.
Exactly.
So I think the question is there, I don't know what is happening real estate and building-wise in Minneapolis, but I think you need to get some real solid information, not a gut feel, because a lot of the markets that we're visiting now are recovering, meaning that there's now building going on. And in residential, and so a lot of the subs and so forth have gotten back to work. And if your husband it just kind of got pushed down, and so his attitude has been bad, but business has picked back up, but he's not getting any of it because he's not out there chasing it, then that's a different thing than the economy is still sucking wind in Minneapolis. And I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it is. So I don't have any data on Minneapolis that I trust right this second. But you guys could figure that out and just really go riding around. Let's look and see how many places do we see a framing package going up in the air. And let's see if there's some actual activity we can lay our hands on. And if so, then that's attitude adjustment on your husband's part, and get back out there and let's get this thing moving. What if you got a job and his business turned around? Well, we would have not sold the house at all, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, and he's kind of at that place where he's not wanting to chase things. It's so competitive, and people, from what he tells me, they expect so much for such a little amount of cost that he really
needs to stop his whining and close this business and go get another business or get his attitude straightened out about this.
Yeah.
Welcome to business. It's competitive, and people want a lot for a little.
Right. Exactly. And he's taken on, my brother-in-law, he does some electronic dog fences, and so he's doing some of that right now with him and hoping that will take off too. So he's looking at other things, but it's just right now not providing.
You don't think electronic dog fences are competitive and people want a lot for a little?
Yeah.
There's a competitor on every corner with those things.
Right. Yeah.
And it's so price sensitive. It's all about price competition. It's not about, but at least when you're doing hardwoods and tile, you at least could do, show some craftsmanship and say, there is a substantial brand differentiation between me and, Joe Tile Thrower. So, I think he's got a better business than he thinks he has. That's my gut on this. So that's how I'd look at it. I think both of you get his income up, get your income up, you keep this house. That would be my plan. But if you're not going to do either, you need to sell it. You're right about that. So you got to figure that out. But I think you're settling. I think you're settling for less than you can do if you go that route. So, hey, thanks for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. John is on Twitter. He says, do you plan on writing a Living a Legacy book? No, not right now. The next book I'm going to do is with my daughter Rachel about teaching a father and a daughter teaching parents how to teach their kids about money, and from 3 years old to 33 years old. And so we're going to teach you how to teach your kids how to handle money. That'll be our next project. We just started writing it, as a matter of fact. It'll come out in about a year. So don't even have a good title for it yet. But we'll probably do the legacy stuff sometime, because I just love that whole idea. Hey, thanks for following me on Twitter, @Dave Ramsey. This is The Dave Ramsey Show.